And we are live. We are live. Welcome to the Modern Sports Show, home of your college athlete, where we are player led and player focused. I'm your host, Corey, and tonight we are streaming the Rams versus the Dolphins, and we are just going to have an amazing time tonight. We're going to wait for our viewers to start trickling in, and we were supposed to we were supposed to be doing a excuse me. We were supposed to be doing a give me one second, guys. I'm sorry. All right, we were supposed to be dropping a video tonight. Unfortunately, just some things with the timing, things I wasn't able to get things done like I would have hoped. So because of that, we coming with a live video tonight. I mean, we'll be doing live videos every night, every Monday night, excuse me. 7:15, starting at 7:15 PM to coincide with streaming whatever Monday night football game is on, while we just kinda talk and discuss some things that took place over the weekend, over the college football weekend, and so forth and so on, so that's good. Thank you, love. But, aside from that, we'll just start waiting until we get some people in here, and we will go from there. Y'all can join. Let's get the word out. Y'all can join. Come on. All right. Okay. So we're gonna start hopefully getting some people trickling on in. The live is airing. All right. Um, and like y'all know the routine. Let's get this sent around to at least two or three people. Two or three people while we talk about what took place in college football this past weekend, and then what's going on in the NFL, what's going on in the NBA. And yeah, everything that we do. Everything that we do here on the Modest Sports Show. We're gonna wait for some more people to start coming in. We're gonna wait for some more people to start coming in. Y'all like my waves? My waves going? Let's get this sent to three people. Let's get it sent to three lucky individuals. Come on. Dolphins kind of looking like that team tonight. Dolphins are looking like that team tonight. Let's get this live sent out. Let's get the live sent out. Let's get the live sent out. Get it sent to a few people. Let's get the discussion going, the dialogue going for this beautiful November 11th night of 2024. We're gonna start getting the people, start getting the viewers in. Oh, let's see. Okay. Share. Copy link. We are live. We are live. We are live on location, guys. Be sure to hit the link. Be sure to get on the link. Have your voice heard on the Modest Sports Show while we stream. Monday Night Football between the Dolphins and the Los Angeles Rams. No better place to be on this Monday night than the Modern Sports Show, home of your college athlete. Let's see. Let's see. Uh, wait, paste. Go. Attach the snap. We are streamers. We are streaming Monday Night Football edition Rams versus the Dolphins. Let's get that going, man. Let's get it going. Enough playing around. Let's get it going. Let's go. Enough playing around. Let's get it going. Appreciate you, Aunt. Appreciate you, Aunt. Uh, loud now. Let's go. Let's go. Feel like right now it's just Corey and Davincia. Corey and Davincia. Oh no. Say y'all on. I only got one watching. What's going on? Hmm. I don't know. But either which way, guys, welcome to the live show. Welcome to the Modern Sports Show, home of your college athlete, where we have Bray Lacey joining us in the chat. Thumbs up in the chat for Braylon Lacey. Thumbs up in the chat. Guys, when you join the chat, let's drop our names. Let's say something in the chat so we know, you know what I'm saying? So we know who all in here so we can get this thing going, get it rolling. Let's speak. Say, hey, Corey, so I can shout you out. I'm gonna go through. Hey, Alex. Not sure what you're up to tonight. We got a live show going. Feel free. Feel free to join. Join. Just trying to, for all my viewers wondering what I'm doing, I'm just trying to get this, just trying to get the word out so we can start going, so we can start talking, so we can really get this thing amped up. We gonna get it. We getting the word out. We getting the word out, and we are waiting to get the people in. When you come in the chat, speak. You know what I mean? Let us know who's here, who's there, so that way we can really get this thing going. So we can really start diving into some topics. So we can start getting into some discussions. Sean TV, yo, what's up? The one and only Deshaun Cappy, South Alabama nickel corner, number number 3 draft pick in the 2028, 2029 NFL draft. Be on the lookout for him. He's doing some big things down in South Alabama, guys. Be on the lookout for Deshaun Cappy, number 25, I believe. Number 25. Sean, let's go. Let's get about Let's give I know you the man with the plan, so let's get me about 2, 3 more dudes in here, man. Let's start really picking up on the discussion. Let's start talking ball. You watching right now, we're streaming the Monday Night Football between the Rams and the Dolphins as they continue to fight for a spot in the playoffs. The Dolphins looking a little unhinged throughout the course of the season, having lost their starting quarterback for a great deal of the season to, obviously concussion to a Tagovailoa. But, know, he's back. I think this is his return tonight. And so looking for some magic to happen. Looking for some magic to happen. Um, Rams, they're sitting at 4-4. Well, I think the Rams are the NFC West. NFC West, I believe. Rams are NFC West team. So definitely still looking. I'm sure they're still in the hunt for a playoff spot. So yeah, you know, good football tonight. Should be a pretty competitive game. Um, guys, we still just sending this thing out, still getting it out, still pushing the word around. Alright. Either which way, we gonna have a good night. Whether it's 2 or 2,000,000 show up in the chat tonight, we're gonna have a great night streaming. Um, anywho, we're gonna have a great night. Let's start getting some topics. For my 3 viewers who are in the chat, right? What did y'all do this weekend? What were some games that y'all watched? Who impressed y'all? Who disappointed? Hey, babe, Davincia Rogers making herself known in the chat. How are you? How are you? Let's get this discussion started tonight. Who's gonna break the ice and start getting the questions going, start getting some of the dialogue rolling. Ask Corey. Segment for tonight. Ask Corey. Join the conversation to interact. Let's see, open the panel. Join the conversation, interact with the creator. Sean, Alabama and LSU game was a big one this weekend. Yes, it was. Now thank you, Sean. You got us started. It was. LSU really disappointed. Like I said, for those who weren't in the chat prior, let's get rolling because we're about to get this train rolling and it's not gonna stop. But I mean, LSU, or excuse me, I intended to record an episode for the show tonight. However, had a pretty long weekend, and I am had a pretty long weekend, and I was uno un un or I was I wasn't able to record like I would have hoped, and so that's why we're having this live show tonight. Either which way, LSU disappointed me. Very disappointed in LSU's performance. I think they had been playing fairly well up into, I say, like, the second half of the Texas A&M game. They had been playing fairly well. I don't feel like that team I don't know if it's the leadership or what. I still feel like, I mean, at this point in the season, it's too late. I definitely think they have pieces, and they have what it took to be a good team this year, but just not able thank you. Just not able to really live up to the standard, especially at LSU, right? Especially at LSU. Sean, what do you think? Like, you said that was a big one this weekend. I saw you went to Tuskegee. How was Tuskegee? Unfortunately, right, we ended up having a shooting in Tuskegee, but how did how was Tuskegee? How was that atmosphere down there? Who else we got? I know Sean ain't the only one here. Who else watching? I wanna know who's in here so I can shout you out, so we can talk. CC, Cedar Beater. Is that right? Cedar Beater. Just just CC. Okay, okay. CC, ask me a question. Let's get it going. Ask me a question. No, I got a message. Ask me a question. Sean, LSU hasn't impressed me yet. Now, is that a little biased being that LSU destroyed South Alabama earlier this season? Who knows? Who knows? But let's see what he has to say. LSU hasn't impressed me yet. Watching them earlier in the year versus South Alabama kinda gave me a view of how the rest of the year was gonna play out once they played bigger schools like Alabama. That's a good point. That's a great point. Um, at the same time, like I said, it was just when I watched the first half of that Texas A&M game, I was like, "With this offense, when Garrett Nussmeier can be on his spot and when he is connecting with his receivers, it's not too many dudes who it's not too many dudes who like, too many teams that'll be able to stop that explosive of a offense." Kinda reminded me of an Oregon. If we think about Oregon, they got a quarterback who can sling it around. They also got wide receivers who can go catch it, who can make plays. Thank you. I see a lot of people starting to join. There we go. Let's get them in. Let's get them in. You come in the chat, speak, right? You come in the chat, speak. I can speak back. Either which way, I think that LSU, right, they had the team, and I'll say even after the USC game, I think their defense started to gel together too. You seen guys step up in the secondary, um, like, oh, excuse me, not the secondary, but guys step up in the box, like number 40 Weeks. I think a big hurt to their defense was Harold Perkins going down. Obviously, one of the best edges and can play stack linebacker. He's one of their best defensive play, probably the premier defensive player on their team. And so with him going down, I think it definitely hurt their chances to a successful season, at least defensively. Yeah. So Bray said, "Who do you have winning tonight in Monday Night Football?" The Raiders going. I got the Dolphins. Dolphins are playing well right now to be on the road. JC Caver says, "What do you think about Tennessee going into this week's game?" I think the quarterback got hurt. I seen that. I have to kinda go do some more research on that because I didn't watch the Tennessee and the Alabama or excuse me, Tennessee and Mississippi State. I'm tripping. Tennessee, I didn't watch Tennessee versus Mississippi State this weekend. Really wish I would've been able to go, but they on my list right now. They not doing certain people right, and I'm not staying. But either which way, I think, I think Tennessee, we have to see. I do think, definitely, obviously, their premier quarterback getting hurt, especially going into the weekend when they got Georgia coming up, no bueno. But, I mean, with the way Georgia's been playing, mind you, Tennessee's defense is also pretty good this season. And at the rate at which, Georgia's offense is playing, Tennessee, Georgia might actually be more of a less of a scoring game, so defenses might collide in that game, and whoever gets the most takeaways, creates the most, turnovers, and just does the most with with the opportunities they're given offensively, they might have a better chance at winning that game, but it should favor advantageous, obviously, of course, them playing at home, so really interested to see how that game because that game, right, that game and I'm not sure of the severity of Tennessee's quarterback injury and Nico getting hurt, but I will say that it may have an effect on it may have an effect on, what am I trying to say? It may have an effect on even if they were to lose that game, they would only be a two-loss team. And so, obviously, having a loss to Arkansas and then a loss to Georgia, that's still not a bad resume, but with it depending on the severity of that injury, if their quarterback is hurt for the long term, that really may affect how the committee views him, like we saw the committee do last season with Florida State and their quarterback injury. So, kinda gotta wait and see how that plays out. uh, on TV, he says their run game is awesome, but they can't really get their passing game going. I do. And to be honest, I think for LSU's run game to be as good as it is, they don't lean enough on it. Like, they don't lean on their run game. They don't have enough balance. I saw just how good I think the cat name is Caleb Durham right there, running back 1. I saw how good he was when they played South Carolina on the road earlier in the season. That game really impressed me. LSU looking at that game and South Carolina impressed me equally in that game. I think South Carolina is one of those teams this year who, depending on how they can build, they might this year, they might be setting up for better next year. So, South Carolina is a team that aside from that, I really thought LSU had a very good run game. I seen it in that South Carolina game. Hate that they didn't kinda lean more on that, especially in taking at Texas A&M. Like, you got a 10-point lead, I think, going into halftime, something like that. Like, there's no reason to be forcing the ball. Like, use your run game, like, lean on that run game. Tuskegee struggled the whole game on TV. Tuskegee struggled the whole game. Not sh and guys, as we're doing it, if you want your question to get asked and you wanna get some recognition, let's ask the questions. Let's get this thing going. 'Cause every night we're doing or excuse me, every night that we're going live, this is how we run our lives. And this ain't even the most. We got more people. We got more people coming. More people coming. We just getting started. Alright. Sean says, "Tuskegee struggled the whole game, not sure what was the problem. Don't think anything was working for them Saturday." Imma take your word for it. I'm not really too familiar with Tuskegee's, system, what they do offensively and defensively, as well like, I know Coach James. Me and him somewhat know of each other. I also know, the defensive coordinator. I know they DC. Me and him, we kinda we had a little, but anyways, ET Carver says, "Who do you think will be the final 2 in the SEC?" That's an amazing question. Um oh, okay, excuse me. I think, thank you. I think I believe the final 2 in the SEC, that's gonna be tough. I think I'll say this, the team that has the least path of resistance is Texas. Um, I think Texas, I don't think their schedule is they got Texas A&M, that's really the only other challenge that I foresee with them. Uh, Tennessee, if Tennessee's quarterback is hurt, it's gonna give them an issue going into Athens for this upcoming weekend. Man, right, that's a tough question. Final 2, I mean, I'll tell you this much, I'll say this, whoever are the final 2, SEC going into the SEC championship game, it might do depending on who the teams are, it might do more damage to them to be in that game, truthfully, because if a two-loss team, like, let's say Tennessee was to go to Georgia and, face a and lose, and Georgia was to go to the SEC championship, and they were to win out, just throwing a scenario out there. It might not be the best thing for Georgia because if they were to go to SEC championship game and lose, then, that's kinda counterproductive to to what they could be. That's counterproductive to them even possibly getting into the playoffs. So, that's kinda uh. Sean says, "Have you had time to check out Florida Gators? Young, talented quarterback starting. I think they could be good after seeing." And yes, glad you bring them up. I I definitely think Florida has all the right pieces to be a good team. Florida, undoubtedly, preseason consensus, Florida had the toughest schedule in the SEC, undoubtedly. So, I hate the fact that even midway through the season, like we are now in 2, 3 weeks back, some believe that Billy Napier or some are like, "Billy Napier is on the hot seat." Why is he on the hot seat when played Texas A&M, they played Miami, they played Georgia, they had a gauntlet of a schedule. That's not fair to Billy Napier, that's not fair to the Florida Gators, and like you mentioned, do have a young, talented quarterback, they're also young in some other areas. Give him some time. I say give him another season or 2 to allow what he wants to do to come together. I think everybody pretty much understands that Florida has had, like, a culture, issue, to say the least, and so, uh, that's just something that, I think Florida could definitely be good. I definitely think Florida could be good. Okay. Um, Definitely think Florida could be good. Aside from that, JC says, "What are your thoughts on Auburn this season?" Auburn. I think Auburn is I and I was just talking with, I don't wanna get my insider. I got a new insider that we talked about. I was at the school, we talked all day. My new insider. Anyways, I got an insider. I got somebody with a little inside information that's gonna help fuel the Modern Sports Show. But anywho, that was something that we both agreed on, me and this person. Um, Auburn had all the potential. Auburn is always a chippy team on defense. They always have guys who especially on the defensive side of the ball, guys who can really play, guys who get to the ball. I love the Auburn is always a chippy team, and having that mentality defensively is always good for your football team in general. Okay, where Auburn went wrong this season is not getting a quarterback. That is exactly where Auburn went wrong. They got the pieces in Cam Coleman, Perry Thomas. They brought in Lambert Smith from Penn State. They had everything that they needed to be. They still got Jarquez Hunter, who rushed for 230 some yards on my alma mater at Kentucky on the road. So, I mean, that's Auburn's biggest thing was not getting a quarterback. They really hurt themselves by not jumping in the portal and getting a quarterback. They got a quarterback last season in Peyton Thorne. Like, me and this guy, my source, like, me and him agreed on, it's like, okay, if Peyton Thorne was a grad transfer, when you went and got him from Michigan State, right? And mind you, you had last season with him, and I guess offensively, they weren't as productive as they would have hoped to be. Cool, but look at each position singularly. Don't put it all together because I feel like that's what Hugh Freeze would have had to have done to not go out and get a quarterback capable of playing at this level. So you go and get everything else. You get the receivers. I think they make a couple of additions on the offensive line, but you say, okay, here at this quarterback position, we're good. We're good at this quarterback position. I don't know what Hugh Freeze saw last year from Peyton Thorne to make him think that he was okay and he was fine not having to go and get a quarterback, but I think that was one of his biggest mistakes. So that's my thoughts on Auburn. Good football team, they just need a quarterback. Uh, E.T. Caver says South Carolina is doing their thing. What you think? Yeah, I definitely think, like I said, South Carolina is one of those programs. I would say South Carolina, UCLA. I would say what else? What else do I wanna say? There's a couple other teams in college football I was looking at that I'm like, they are developmental programs. They have the potential, especially next year with the way that they probably with the way they play mid-season and into the end of the year and kinda where they are as a program. I'm looking at Florida being one of those. I'm looking at some teams like, okay, next season is probably gonna be their year where they might jump to a 8, 9, maybe even 10-win season. So I think it's gonna be very telling to see, how, a couple of these teams kind of finish the year out and what they look like, especially in the offseason when they make a couple additions, some coaches leave, just kind of playing with their algorithm. Jason Cave says the Ole Miss game, what do you think happened for Georgia to lose like that? Again, Georgia just offensively, they have struggled the entirety of the year. I feel like when the news, cut about Thomas getting dismissed from the program, I feel like they didn't reestablish themselves in the wide receiver room. I think that's kinda been my telltale, like, I don't think they've had the best wide receiver, room, but also Beckham struggled this season. And again, I think that's one of the things that's hard for me to understand because it's Todd Monken's 2nd year with the Ravens. So Todd Monken was the OC at Georgia 2 seasons ago when we saw Stetson Bennett be Georgia's quarterback. Carson Beck last season, right, you had this same I think his name is Greg Roman, if I'm mistaken, but don't quote me on that. He's had this OC for 2 seasons. So you would think coming into the 2nd season that he would be a lot more polished, a little bit more, I guess, a little more second natured in the system in his 2nd year. That hasn't been the case. That really hasn't been the case. Beck at best has looked decent, he's looked okay. Hasn't really shown me this year that he's, like, draft worthy, and I could make the case that, okay, it's 'cause his receivers, he hasn't had the receivers necessary to make plays at that level, but at the same time, I don't know. Georgia has just really struggled offensively, I don't know how they'll pan out, to tell you the truth, how they'll finish the season. Jason Caver says, "What about the Manning at Texas? Do you feel like he has potential, or is he just hyped up because the name is that so?" I think Archie is actually good, but this is redshirt freshman season. I think he's actually a good quarterback. Next year, he he's come out and he's shown things, like, he hasn't wowed me since he's been in college, like, especially this season with Quinn Ewers getting hurt in the middle of the year. He hasn't wowed me, and I'll say that, he has definitely shown me, like he has definitely shown me that he can play, he can make routine plays. Um, we'll just see how his season kinda or how he seasons into the player that he is potentially could be. I think he is a great athlete, had definitely has some strong legs. Seen that when they played Florida, um, when he got some cleanup time at the end of the game. So, definitely ready, we gonna see. We'll see next season. It'll be his next year. Um, Sean TV says, "What's your thought on Kentucky? I feel they showed college players and fans who usually is rookie and that they can be beat." Shout out to college players and fans. Okay. That they can be beat. No, that's I love that. I love that. That's a great point because again, Imma continue to say this to a lot of people. One of Kentucky's strongest suits is not a player. I promise you. So, we saw a 28-18 loss to Tennessee this year. We saw a 13-12 loss to Georgia this year, almost indicative of the game at Georgia 2 seasons ago when we played them, right? They only beat us 16-6 22 season I was and so, the person who doesn't get a lot of notoriety and attention, but soon he will, soon the football world is gonna catch on, is Brad White. That was my defensive coordinator at the University of Kentucky, and he is a very, 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 he has a very complex mind when it comes to schemes and concept. He is a great, great, brilliant football mind, and he does a lot of things that keeps Kentucky in the game. Does a lot of concept, a lot of different just systematically, he is probably Kentucky's biggest bonus. If Kentucky had an OC that could match his talent at DC at Kentucky would be a pretty good football team. I gotta tell you the truth. And so, to your point, I'm sure a lot of teams, right, you know how this works. A lot of teams after that Kentucky game probably went and looked at that film, "Okay, this how we can beat these dudes?" Because again, like like, kinda Like years past, it's not quite the same as you would say Kentucky would typically be. That is or Georgia, that is. Normally, Georgia has a strong running game. They also got some receivers who can make plays and a quarterback who can get the ball. Like, that's been their blueprint. They had heavy 12 personnel, heavy 13 personnel. They had tight ends like Brock Bowers, uh, dudes like Oscar Delp, which he's still there. But I see they even got another, you know, frolic tight end who is kinda gonna take Oscar Delp's place whenever he's league ready. So, you kinda see, like, what Georgia wants to do, like I said, heavy, um, tight end usage, and I think this season they just kinda missed the production from Lad McConkey as well as, Brock Bowers, like, they really missed that be it in run support, Brock Bowers being able to be a blocker, put him at the H for him at the Y, he can really block. Uh, just they're missing they're missing pieces, guys who they probably thought would step up this season, just haven't quite stepped up and panned out. Like I said, their season is still in front of you. Um, their season is still in front of them, but I mean, that's a tough one. You know what I mean? Like Georgia is just one of those tough teams where it's like when they're clicking. When they're not, they're not. So, guys, at this point in the broadcast, add 2 or send this to 2 or 3 more people. Let's keep building. We kinda stuck right now. We a little stagnant. Normally, these numbers do a little bit more. I need us to send 2, 3 more people, and let's kinda keep building on this. Building on this. I'm gonna jump right back into the just trying to keep building on this. Let's get a couple more people in here. Let's see where we at. E.T. Caver, you think Hunter wrapping up the Heisman? I think so. At this point in the season, I think Hunter is. I definitely think he does. I think Milroe, and I see a comment about Milroe. I think Milroe just made a very strong case in point for his Heisman campaign this weekend, right? 100 and what? Dude, I'm sorry, God, dude. 100 and like 9 in the air and 185 on the ground, 4 touchdowns. You can't really beat that. So, games like that, and I really wish we had games like this, especially earlier in the season, more consistently because I probably could have cemented himself in that Heisman conversation. Aside from that, um, yeah, I would say Hunter. I gotta say Travis Hunter right now. He's doing it both ways. He's making it look good. I think what'll solidify it for him will be how they finish their season out. They got 3 more games. Um, depending on what they're able to do and how things work out in the Big 12, if Travis Hunter and company end up going to a Big 12 conference championship and end up winning that conference championship and getting to the playoffs, isn't it gonna be kinda hard not to give it to Travis Hunter? I can't lie. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the Heisman. I asked you about the last 2 teams standing for SEC, I believe. Milroe, taking it all, Roll Tide it is. Let's come back to this at a later date, though. On the sports show, that's right. Sean, best quarterback in college. Imma have to say, um, I'm going to have to say hold on. Damn, mama, I'm sorry. It's just we got a couple of regulars who are normally on here, and in the comments, I got some new people, which I love, but I kinda wanna see some of my people kind of, get in here because normally we gotta keep going. But my best quarterback to me in college football, Imma probably say Dylan Gabriel, and that may be, but Dylan Gabriel, Dylan Gabriel may be, in my opinion, he probably has the most weapons in college football that more than any other team has, but I mean it's kinda like he's a real point guard. He's a real distributor when it comes to getting the ball out quick, when it comes to being able to make throws, when it comes to having legs. I think he's the most complete quarterback. I think he's the most accurate quarterback of those, like, He's kinda like if I had to he's like a Tua with his arm, obviously being lefty, um, but he has feet like Bo Nix. So, you know what I mean? Like Bo Nix, kinda how Bo Nix could escape the pocket. He is athletic, quick, shifty type dude. I really like Dylan Gabriel, and, like, if you don't know, if you're watching this and you don't know, yes, my pick to win the college football national championship this season is Oregon. Oregon is my pick, and they have the most complete football team out of everybody. Um, I don't really see too many football teams beating them, and I don't know. Who are y'all picks? Who are y'all picks to win the college football championship? Sean, who you got? E.T. Caver, who do you have? Jason Caver, who do you have? See who we got in here in the chat. You're in the chat and you ain't spoken. You ain't spoke up. Bray, who you got? Vinci, who you got winning the national championship this season? Who you got? What we got? Who are our picks? Okay, I like this. Please tell me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I'm gonna say Keela Bradley. Ask, what's your opinion on Ashton Genty? First running back off the board in this year's NFL draft. Lead out Lacey Texas. Okay, let me say this. Let me say this. Keela Bradley, I love. Hey, clap for you. I love when women get on here talking sports and like they really they asking some like scintillating questions, things that kind of go beneath the surface of Ashton Genty. That's kind of tough. My opinions on Ashton Genty is he's a great running back. He's a great running back. Um, I would have to go and watch more of his game to see how versatile he is coming out the backfield. I definitely feel like he should be the first running back off the board given what he's done. I think that's a no-brainer. I think anybody that would pick someone over him, it don't make sense. I will say what I have seen from Ashton Genty, he looks more like a, what's my guy from Michigan? What's my guy from Michigan? Um, what's my guy from Michigan? Yeah, who just got drafted. He kinda reminds me of him. I can't think of his name all of a sudden, but he really reminds me of him. Um, anyways, Orlita Albert Lacey says Texas. Davincia Rogers says Big Bama. Fingers crossed. Ray Ray Lacey said, I'll say Georgia. Jason Caver, Tennessee. Tennessee. Lord have mercy. I don't see Tennessee getting it. Jesse Caver. Is this JC2 or JC3? I'm assuming it's JC3. Um, but he says Oregon. Thank you. We finally agreed on something. Like I said, I don't know. If it's JC2, we normally agree on a lot. JC3, I don't know. JC JC2, okay, yeah. Like I said, I knew it was JC2. It's JC2. We normally agree on a lot. JC3, he'll get on here hollering Bama. Um, Pops, Bernard Lacy says Bama. Bama for sure. Sean TV bold statement. How Ole Miss? Ole Miss? High on Ole Miss. I like Ole Miss, especially when they're clicking. They definitely Ole Miss, they were a very gritty football team in this past weekend to get a win over Georgia. Very gritty win. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if but I say this even given the performance that Ole Miss just had defensively. Um, they had a great, great, great performance defensively. That defensive line got a lot of push. My dad called that one. He called that that win. He saw Ole Miss beating Georgia. So shout out to him. Jason Caver, JC Caver, excuse me. Tennessee just because them boys have come a long way. They may. I mean, I feel like since 22, right? Since like 22, they've been kind of like a premier football team. Um, Last year was a quiet year for them, but I feel like they stepped into prominence. I mean, Tennessee is always shoddy, you know what I mean? It's kinda like Florida, especially those teams who presumably were used to be SEC East. It's shoddy. They have seasons where they can go 9-3, have seasons where they can go 10-2, not really meaning much because 'cause they're typically gonna get beat by the SEC West. So yeah, yeah. Keep the questions coming, guys. Let's go. Keep the questions coming. Let's keep the energy high. Let's see. And, like, for those of you who are just joining, we are watching the Dolphins and the LA Rams as we stream tonight. My madre, mi madre. Either way it goes, the SEC team wins, our entire conference wins. Okay, agree with that. I agree with that. SEC, so let me ask y'all this, comments. How do we feel about how would we feel if it was an SEC dominated bracket this SEC playoffs? Like, how would we feel about because like I said this on my Twitter, if you all watched the last episode, because you should be watching all the episodes of the Modest Sports Show, um, you would have seen that I sent out a tweet probably a week ago, 2 weeks ago at this point, pretty much saying that the way the SEC, the way the Big Ten, the way those 2 and I said the ACC, but kind of the latter of the 3, the way those teams were shaping out, it was gonna make it hard on a Big 12 team to a Big 12 as well as a Group of 5 team because obviously you promote equity in expanding the playoffs, but the way in which things are playing out, it might not be enough spots to actually be fair in the selection committee's assessment of teams. The SEC is beating up on each other. The ACC is kinda it's a few the ACC is very top heavy. The Big 12 is top heavy as well. The Big 10 is top heavy. The SEC is shown to be the only consistent, league where teams like from top to I'll say from top to 3/4 of the way, right, teams have shown that they can beat anybody. I really might be able to say the whole conference 'cause, everybody excluding Mississippi State. I say that unfortunately, I say that sadly, but everybody in the comments or excuse me, everybody in the conference has pretty much shown that they can beat one another, and so I don't know if it's because the conference is a weak conference this season or or is the competition just that stiff? Thank you, thank you. Um, alright, Lacey says, "Switching to NFL for a second, do you think the Chiefs can continue this undefeated run?" I'll say this, I think the Chiefs at which I don't know, like, I've been seeing some funny stuff on my Twitter and what them pretty much saying that the Chiefs doing black magic and voodoo. I mean, it's kinda I don't know. The way the Chiefs looking, if they winning like this in the regular season, the only team the only team that I could see beating them, and I don't say this please, this is not biased. I just say this because I think the Ravens are a much more physical football team. They're just more dominating. It's crazy having said that, even though we lost to them in the season opener, I just feel like we're a different team since then. I definitely think Eric has found his footing in the offense, and I mean, it's just one of those things. I feel like we just a more dominant team, and so for whatever that's worth, I think we might be the only ones that can beat 'em. ETK says, "What's going on with the Cowboys?" The Cowboys more than anything, and they're gonna continue. I mean, this is a really topic every season. They're gonna continue to have the same issues they have year in and year out until Jerry Jones recognizes he is an owner. He's the owner of the team. He shouldn't be the general manager. He shouldn't be, uh, uh, the president. I think he's the president to, like, reserve these roles reserve these roles for people who you do business, let football people do football. I think that's always the downfall of any professional organization is not allowing people to do their job, right? Jerry Jones has got to let people do their job. It don't matter what coach you hire and bring in. Until Jerry Jones lets people run the team and Cowboy, we're gonna have this same discussion every season with the Cowboys because they got too much talent. And granted, a lot of the talent is hurt right now. They still have too much talent, way too much talent to not have made a Super Bowl in the past, what, since I would say since Zeke and Dak have been kinda like the head of their organization. I don't know what to say. Yeah, Jerry Jones is still alive. Them boys are done. Yeah, the Cowboys, and then obviously, Dak Prescott, he's gonna have season-ending surgery on the partially torn hamstring, so, yeah, I mean, they got Cooper Rush. I watched them, yesterday. They played, who did the Cowboys play? Whoever they played, I watched them yesterday. I was pretty disappointed in them, and, I mean, hey, that's just what they got right now, just you just gotta kinda take it on. If you haven't, subscribe to the channel, like this video, let's share this around to a couple more people. Let's get some more questions flowing in and out the chat. We streaming the game. I think tonight I won't go quite as long as I did last Monday. Last Monday, we went like 3 hours. We'll go to halftime tonight. But in the meantime, let's keep the energy high. Let's keep sending this around. Let's get this around to a couple more people. Um, let's keep the questions flowing in. Let's keep the questions flowing in. I'm trying to see where my usuals is at. I got where's Coach Trina? Let's see. I see mom, dad. My usuals, where they at tonight? I really feel like they can add to this discussion. It would really be it really have it rocking in here. So we got to get a couple of them on. Mondragus was on here last week. Uncle Howard was on here. Let's see who else we had on. I need more questions. Let's keep them coming. Let's keep them coming. My question to y'all, my question to y'all would be, who are y'all Super Bowl picks this season? Who are y'all Super Bowl picks? Out the NFC and the AFC. I think this year we'll do it. I think this year we'll beat the Chiefs and we'll go to the championship. I see the Lions. No, 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 no. I see the Lions out the NFC, either the Lions or the 49ers. Hmm. I don't know. There's no other oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. The Falcons. The Falcons are playing good ball. Fal I've been watching them the past few weekends. Falcons are playing very good ball. Sean TV asked, "What's one team I cover the most?" One team I cover the most would probably have to be ooh, I mean, probably not one team, but I'll probably say the whole SEC. I probably cover the whole SEC the most. Chiefs or the Lions? Chiefs or Lions for your Super Bowl pick? Okay, well, Chiefs AFC, Lions NFC. Okay, so that'd be a crazy. But see, I say that with a grain of salt because the Lions, I ain't gonna lie, the Texans just put it on the Lions last night. Like the way that game was looking, I'm like, oh, okay. Now both teams kind of struggled in the beginning of that game. Very, very great defensive play, defensive run play to be specific on both sides of the ball. But the Lions kind of struggled last night with the Texans. I think the Texans might be a good with the Texans AFC South, AFC West, I forget. But yeah, that was a great game. Great game. I see a couple more have joined. Please, please, please speak. What we doing? How y'all doing? What y'all up to? What games did y'all watch this weekend? Um, what you had for breakfast? What are we let's talk. That's what we here for, right? Let's talk. Let's talk about it. I appreciate we gained a couple more subscribers. Andreas, what's good? There we go. What we Vondre, see, I could talk football with Vondregas. What you watching this Dolphins this Rams game? Who you liking tonight? What games you watch this weekend? What games you watch this weekend? Colorado beat Tech. I watched Colorado and Texas Tech. Watch some of that this weekend. Uh, what else I see? The games I watched this week. So I watched Texas and Florida this weekend. I watched Alabama, LSU, Ole Miss and Georgia. I was between Ole Miss and Georgia and Colorado and Texas Tech. And um, who else? And, Alabama, LSU, Colorado, Texas Tech, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Texas and Florida. Yeah, those were kind of like the 4 games I watched. Um, aside from that, yeah, Pop said I'm still going with who I told you before the season. Ravens win it all. Hey, we gotta see. We gotta see it about that one. I will say the Dolphins playing pretty good. Dolphins is playing pretty good on the road. They looking pretty decent. Um, let's see. I need I tell you what, I need a couple people. I need at least one person on this chat. I sent them the link. I need my granddad Doc, Robert Wright. I need him on the chat. I don't know if he on the chat, but we got to get him in here. But Drake's, I'm disappointed in Colorado offense Saturday. Disappointed from what standpoint? Offensive line play. That's what I'm assuming. Offensive line play. Shador. I seen disconnect with Shador and Travis Hunter. Saw that it was a little sloppy. Definitely looked like they came off a bye week. Yeah, I agree. O-line play, yeah. And I also say this. The one thing that I noticed, which I wish, to be honest, a lot of teams would take more heed in this when playing Colorado. I still feel like Colorado. I feel like they definitely have weapons. Obviously, LeJohntay Wester, Jimmy Horn, Will Shepherd, the whole 9, Shador, Travis. You know this. They got playmakers. I feel like a lot of teams try to play too much man with them, and I don't know if you noticed. They put Texas Tech with Colorado in the bind when they just zoned off. Even 3rd and medium, 3rd and long, when they zoned off, they put a lot of stress on Shador in that offense. It's every time somebody try to play Colorado, man, that's when they struggle the most. I don't understand that. 'Cause I mean, the trade-off is, okay, if you put Shador in man, if we man up and then we're hot everywhere else, right, we're blitzing, then that's gonna put a lot of stress on Shador. I don't quite agree. If Imma play caller, I'm going to Shador. I'm zoning off, dropping 8 or whatever, or we dropping 7, right? We'll probably simulate some pressures, but aside from that, he gonna have to show us. He gonna like, Shador is not gonna beat you with his legs. We'll let Shador run all day. That's the thing, man. Let him run all day. Shador kill you, obviously, when you don't get enough pressure on him, when he extends plays. I don't think dudes do a good job in zone finding a man, right? Standing in grass. That's another area he can beat you. But, like, as far as, like, Shador, I don't know. Shador just not gonna kill you with his legs. Like, Imma let him run all day. Towards the end, they couldn't run the ball to seal the game. I agree with that. No, to be honest, they really can run the ball the entire game. If I'm being real, they didn't really, rhythm with running the football as it is, so I'm ready to see how they finish their season though. They kinda got a few light. They shouldn't take them lightly, but they don't really got no real smoke now these past few weeks. They got Oklahoma State, Utah. Those are all winnable games. Utah is probably the toughest of those 3, especially given the way Utah played, BYU. But I just see what Colorado does to end the season and cap it off. If they make the playoffs, that'd be crazy. If they make the playoffs, that would be crazy. I give it to them. That'd be very wild to see. 'Cause I definitely I had them 6-6, 7-5 on the season. So, I mean, I really need them to lose these last 2 to bring the prediction come true, but, I mean, hey, they went out, that's cool, that's cool. That is cool. Where we at, though? Where we at? Let's see. Get a couple more people in here. They may squeeze in the playoffs. They just might. And like I was saying a little bit earlier before you hopped on, um, it's just one of those things where the SEC is gonna be like the SEC, the Big Ten, and a couple ACC teams like SMU and Miami, um, Pitt, they got a loss, but that's the SMU. So like it's a couple 1, 2 loss teams in the ACC who, of course, they not. I'm not going to at all say they living up to what like it's a couple teams in the ACC that's not living up to those SEC conferences, but the Big Ten the Big Ten, the SEC, those 2 teams are going to dominate. They're going to dominate like the rankings, like they just simply are. It's gonna be a couple 2-loss teams in the SEC that's in the playoffs. Gonna be a couple probably 1 or 2 loss teams in the Big Ten, like, it's tough. Oregon undefeated in the Big Ten, Indiana's undefeated, Ohio State with 1 loss. Who else in the Big Ten? Like, those are probably 3 premier teams. Still got a Penn State with 1 loss. That's 4 teams right there. In the SEC, you got Texas Texas A&M, Tennessee, uh, 2 loss teams that still possibly in Ole Miss, Georgia, like, that's not leaving a lot of room for them Big 12 teams or ACC teams and a group of 5. There we go, we got Coach Trainer here, now we got energy. There we go, there we go. Now there we go, let's go, let's get a few more people. Now we finna start turning the tables, but, it's gonna be hard for Colorado. I'm still ready to see what, I'm still ready to see what let me see. I agree, the ACC, like I said, they're not I don't it's just those conferences are very top um, so I don't know. Those are gonna be kinda tough for me to gauge. But yeah, the winner of the Big 12 is going that they're gonna be the only team in the, playoffs at this rate. Like, the only team and then even at the ACC, like, oh, the winner of those conferences might be the only teams in the playoffs, given the way the Big 10 and the SEC is kinda unfolding. I don't really see too many other I don't know. It's just gonna be too hard to lead them teams out because we know strength of schedule in the SEC is gonna be way tougher than anything in the Big 12 as well as the SEC. Big 10 is kinda top heavy too. Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, Indiana. Um, it ain't really a lot of good teams in the Big 10 either. What we'll see in the Big 10 is those middle tier teams they can't beat the top end. In the SEC, a 5-5 team could beat a 10-win team or potential 10-win team, or a 6-win team could beat a 9-win team, like, that's what make it so murky in the SEC. It's just, like, too many ways the ball can bounce, in my opinion. Watching this game. We just watching the game, though, just streaming. Cool little vibe tonight. Just watching this game, trying to see how this season is gonna play out. Tua hasn't learned to get rid of football. How long do you think he's gonna play? Ah. That's always a touchy subject. It's like, I just hate I don't know, it's just so hard because it's like, man, this is career, this is livelihood, this is what he been doing the majority of his life. It's tough because it's like, he might just he might have the mentality it's barbaric for us to think about. He might really have the mentality, "Imma die on the football field." It'll be gruesome to see, but that's his stance, that's like his part of his personality, so, I mean it's just one of them things, I guess, I don't know, maybe until I don't know, 'cause I really I still feel like Tua is a great quarterback. S The way he falls is just I don't know, but if we're being real, committee was designed to eliminate SEC teams from dominating. It was. It really was, but at the end of the day, good football is always gonna reign supreme at the end of the day. You know, that's my main focal point. It's like good football, no matter what. So, Coach Trina, he's had major concussions, and that's true. He has to learn to play different. Yeah, it's just crazy. Like it's like you said, bro, every time he get hurt or get hit, I'm scared he hurt. Yeah, that's real. It's like I ain't never seen football. I know our helmets are heavy, but it's like every time he take a hit every time he take a hit, land on his back, his head snaps back. He can't control I don't know if it's a core issue or what, but he can't control his neck on the way to the ground. Like, it's the awkward part, and I was in, physical therapy a couple years ago with Joe Webb. We were at Champion Sports in Vestavia, and that's a conversation that we was having. It's like, the way he falls is so unorthodox. Like, it don't be the hits that hurt him, like, very rarely do you like, I ain't seen nobody just come and slobber knock, uh, Tua. It's it's the way he lands on his head, the way his head hits the ground. It said, "What's the name of the extra sport helmets that they asked him to wear?" He refused. Now, I agree, given yeah, given his injury or multiple injuries, that is probably something that he should have paid a little more closer attention to, which is, or he shoulda it's called spider or not spiders, but, pads, I can't think of the shell, we just call 'em shell 'em, and, yeah, I mean, I don't know, or guardian cap, I said shells. Guardian cap, you call them a guardian cap, and that is what protects and actually, I seen a, Tampa Bay Bucks player wearing one a couple weeks ago. I was actually surprised because the way they had it, you could barely tell that he had a protective cap on. I definitely think Tua probably should invest in one of them, though. He should allow that to yeah, he needs one of them. He definitely needs one. It'd be heavier on his head, but, I mean, he'll be able to sustain some of the falls without the risk of brain damage. I don't know. I don't know. Him refusing it, I don't know. 'Cause I always thought, we wear them in practice, or we wore them in practice. Um, I mean I mean, I'm thinking like I'm thinking like, for me, I didn't they look kinda goofy to me, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And for me, honestly, like, when I always wore one, I would like I could hit a little bit harder in this, because the impact is gonna be less, like, less the impact is gonna be less, abrasive. And so I always was like, it looked goofy, but kinda made you feel like you had some bubble wrap on, but I don't know. I feel like maybe if they found a cooler way to market it, maybe even something if they could add more padding on the inside of the helmet, maybe do something like that on the inside, maybe even something that you put on before you put your helmet on that could help absorb some of the contact. I think that might be a better might be more accepted from NFL teams and organizations and guys on the actual team. That's just a tricky thing. Yeah. Yeah. We still got some time left. Still got some time left. Yeah, that's what I said, though. Like I said, I was watching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. One of their offensive linemen had it on a couple weeks ago. I could hardly tell. I could hardly tell. Bama win it all. Doc, I don't know about this shit, man. I don't see it happening this year. I don't see it happening this year. It's just so much going on. They gotta I think I'll say first year Alabama team, DeBoer first year coaching, he has a great, great team. Um, he has a great team for it to be his first year. I don't know if he can win it all, but Drake said, "Man, go to sleep with that." I mean, hey, yeah. I don't know. They got a great team for his first year, but a championship if Bama was to win a championship this season, like a national championship, the run that they would have to go on would be magical. I can't even lie. Like, the run that they would have to go on would be crazy. I don't see it happen. I don't see it. I don't think Bama I don't think they got what it take this year. I don't think they have enough X factors on defense. I don't think they got enough X factors on defense, um, especially at some of the more skilled positions. I think they got a stout defensive line. Definitely think they got a stout defensive line. I don't see them making it happen. I don't see it making it happen this year. Drake said, "Dang, them fans always making it about them." ETK. Who would be able to eliminate Bama? Okay, list of teams. I could kinda give a list on this one. Some teams I think would be able to eliminate Bama. I'm gonna have to say Tennessee. I think Tennessee beats them again. I would say Texas. I think Texas would get them this year again. I think Texas A&M. If we get the version of Texas A&M that we got in the LSU game, I think they can get Alabama. And that's just in conference. That's just in conference. Out of conference, more as it pertains to the Big Ten, because I don't see a ACC team beating Alabama. Even a clicking Miami, and I say that Miami's defense is wow. Their defense is way too, Miami's defense is can't stop anything. Imma also say in the Big or in the ACC, so Bama could beat any team in the ACC for the most part. The Big Ten, the top end of the Big Ten, Alabama has some issues. Oregon is beating Alabama. Ohio State is beating Alabama. Uh, mm, Penn State, I don't know. Penn State get kinda tricky. Indiana, the way they playing, Indiana and Bama would be a good game. Um, who else? Yeah, it's a couple teams. It's a couple teams that I think Bama would lose to. Coach Trina says Dre's a hater. When Drake is uh, Robert Wright says, "I think they gonna run the table." I mean, if Alabama was to run the if they was to run the table if Alabama was to run the table and win the national championship this year, Imma tell you this now, they need to go ahead and put a statue up of Kalen DeBoer. If they was to win one in this season, they need to go on and put him up, and if that's the case Braylon said the 3 T's. What are the 3 T's? Fill us in. Mama said Richards. Colorado beating Bama. I'm sure in his brain they are. Sure in his brain they definitely would. Um, what we got? Keep them coming. Keep them coming, guys. Keep the we trying to build some momentum back. It got dry here for a little minute. Let's see though. Let's check into the game. So right now, Tua Tagovailoa, 9 for 15, 87 yards, 1 interception to Matthew Stafford's 15, 21, 97 yards and 1 pick. That's right. SEC good. Von Drager says SEC good tough football and they gonna generate that money. And that's right. And by adding Texas to the conference, nothing but make it go up. Now, my question for all the football knowers, all my real football knowers is, what do we think about Oklahoma and their future in the SEC? Because Oklahoma definitely was in the shadow of Texas joining the SEC. Do we feel like Brent Venables is gonna be the right coach in the SEC, especially with him being so defensive minded at Oklahoma? You lose Jeff Lebby, right? Jeff Lebby is not a head coach at Mississippi State. Is Oklahoma like what does Oklahoma need to kind of insert themselves into a more dominant conversation when it comes to SEC teams? Because right now they just falling by the wayside. We know typically in the SEC, if you kinda submit yourself to that mid-tier, low-tier SEC, it's always hard from a recruiting standpoint and from a longevity standpoint to reinsert yourself in the top echelon of the conference. That's why we've seen Alabama at the top for so long. That's why we've seen Georgia at the top for so long. That's why we've seen, at one point, Florida at the top for so long. Kinda hard to reestablish yourself up there with those teams after you kinda, fell down to the wayside. Um, Braylon says the 3 T's, Tennessee, Texas, Texas A&M. All right, 3 T's, okay. Alita Albert Lacey, mama says, "This weekend solidify Hunter as the Heisman winner." Uh, this weekend, I mean, I don't and like I said, I was in and out the game. I just think Hunter for his volume, right? For his load, like, the things that he is doing, whether it's successful or not, he still make it look good, if I'm being honest. There was a pick, he caught a interception this weekend, it was probably cover 2 concept. Climb the ladder, climb the ladder, like, his ball skills are ungodly, I'll say that. So I'll give him a lot when it comes to his ball skills. Lead our listen, they need Levy back and bring Arnett back to Starkville. It would be I mean, it would be hard. It would be hard to get Arnett. It would be hard to get him back in Starkville, keeping and specifically for payout, right? For the his pay, given that he's taking a position as an analyst at in Oxford, it would be kinda hard to get him back and, you know, have him in that type of to reestablish himself as a head coach. They wouldn't wanna pay him no money. He's not even a coordinator right now, so it would just be kinda hard. Definitely shoulda gave him more seasons, a season or 2 longer than what he got. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Um, what we think about Oklahoma, though? I don't wanna skip over that. What we think about Oklahoma? What are some thoughts, Mondragus? I'm curious to know what you think about Oklahoma, kinda their first season in the SEC. I think it was definitely a failure. They about to give him his walking papers soon. Right. So my question to you is this then, right? When we think, because even with Billy Napier, I'm not quite sure what everyone's thoughts and opinions were on it. I wasn't a fan of Billy Napier being on the hot seat this season, especially in the gauntlet of the schedule he's had. What are some coaching names? And I'm curious. I hope we're all able to kind of gel together and like give me some people. 'Cause I'm not quite sure. Who are some names coaching world who don't have a job who might be able to come in and take over some programs and be resourceful? Like, right now, I'm knowing Dan Mullen. He's obviously doing he's an analyst. He's doing some game calling as well. Dan Mullen, he's on the market. Aside from him, what's some I know Urban Meyer, I don't even know if he would still be potential or still if he would still be, wanna get back into coaching. Another name that I thought of that I was like, it could be interesting if he was to come to college if he was to come down to college football. I don't know his stance on it or anything. I said Bill Belichick. What if Bill Belichick was a college coach? What would that look do we think that he could, do we think that what we think Bill do we think Bill Belichick would be able to come into college football and, like 'cause I feel like the system that he was trying to run with the Patriots, having that more militant style of coaching, he could definitely come in and do that. He would be able to I feel like, to have more success doing that in college, right? Because you are dealing with younger kids and it's less, it's less of a business, I guess not so much now, but, it's still that player coach difference. You're not really dealing with grown men, so I feel like you would be able to have more impact in terms of program sake. You stay in the program. Uh-huh. They definitely a failure. I mean, good in a few years, yeah. Coach Trina says Colorado offensive line will not be able to hold Bama. Vondragus, no, he may not work because he doesn't like to pay players. Coach Trina says Belichick will be Alabama times 100. Think so? I think that would be interesting to see. I do. I really think that would be interesting to see how well Belichick would come in and run a college program. Obviously, Nick Saban comes with his coaching tree, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of similarities. I'm sure there could be a clash too, um, especially this day and age with recruiting and stuff, but I feel like you really can't care. You just kinda gotta let it be what it's gonna be. That's my thoughts. Yep. That Nick Saban, or excuse me, that Coach that Belichick, coaching tree. Or Leader Alvarez says, "Bring Summerall from Tulane to one of our dying SEC teams. I see it being a winning team." Okay. It's actually very true. Actually very true. If you're not familiar with John Summerall, go make yourself, familiar. Bernard Lacy says, "They trash." What we talking about? We said, "Who's trash?" Andregas says, "Can Belichick relate to players?" I mean, uh, that's a tough one. Probably not, but again, I just feel like I was saying this, I had this whole conversation, and I was talking about this earlier too. When we think about when we think about, right, impact on college football programs that players are having, right? Like, really think about this. Just hear me out. Kids are not having the same impact college football program that we've seen years prior because of the nature of college football. Kids are not coming in and cementing a legacy at a school, right? When we think of Alabama, like I said, Reggie Ragland, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Reuben Foster, Drake Kirkpatrick, Julio Jones, Jerry Jeudy, Calvin Ridley, Jalen Water, like, the list goes on. You can continue and continue to name players. We're not gonna see that. Like, this day and age in college football, we're not gonna see that because players are not loyal and they're not staying committed to a program and working through the hardships, the bumps and bruises of being great. You see flashes of good, tell me if I'm wrong, from all these programs across the country, no matter who we looking at. For the most part, we are seeing good programs. We're seeing flashes of good programs. We're not seeing great players. No level of football or excuse me, uh, in from no conference in football am I just seeing like, okay, this guy is cementing his legacy at that university, and long after he's done playing football, he's gonna be able to come back and he's gonna be like, okay, he put his name in the record books at said school. We're not seeing that this day and age in football because we're there like there is no I don't know, there's just no there's not that factor, that it loyalty. And I'm not at all saying I think 2 things can exist. I still feel like you can have NIL and that can still be a component in college football, right? All the things that we loved over the years. I just feel like, I just feel like it gotta be some balance. Anything, right? It gotta be some balance. Gotta have some balance. They maybe, like, set up like I was saying, maybe set it up to where like a trust or like a will or something, with the player where you come in or for one, I'll tell you this, for one, it need to be I don't agree with this part of NIL. I don't agree with just giving free money out to players as a recruiting tactic. Granted, they say, "Well, it's not supposed to be that, pay for play." Well, that's essentially what we doing. You giving them these are not professional athletes. They should not be able to it ain't a signing bonus. That's essentially what these NIL, uh, collectives and bark like, all that that's essentially what they're doing. They giving signing bonuses. Well, we'll give you 2,000,000 to they 1,100,000, if you commit here. That's not what that should be. NIL is name, image, and likeness, right? So, since you've been a part of a college football roster, how are you how is your name, image, and likeness? How is that being positively, affected? That's when you should be in what you're worth, right? Like, based on the market value of what you've done in college, not the market value of what you've done on Instagram coming out of high school. I'm not a fan of that. I think there needs to be more regulation on it and more governance and I think the NCAA was desperate, dealing with a lot of class action lawsuits. So they was just like, "Well, look, man, so we can move on," but they didn't do it with any structure. They didn't do it with a plan in place. They just said, "Okay, well, pay the players. Give them money." That just opened up a it just opened up a portal of negative things to happen, and it kinda did spoil the sport. Y'all thoughts on that though? NIL and just that whole little tangent I just went on. Alita Albert Lacy said Belichick is used to players having money after he'll be successful. That's a good that's a good, a good point, a tidbit. But it also brings up, like, the case in point was because it's like, was Belichick only successful because he had Tom Brady, or was Tom Brady only successful because he had Belichick? Like we said, Brady went on to win a Super Bowl after he left the Patriots. Belichick, on the other hand, you know, there you go. It opened Pandora box. That's right. That's kinda how I was trying to say it, but yeah, though, it definitely did open Pandora's box. Gotta get it under control. Now I'm okay with players having money, getting money, being able to help their families and elevate their place in life. Um, Not okay with just like a 17-year-old shouldn't just get $1 million check to come to a school. Like, what is this? He ain't even developed at that point in his recruitment or in wherever he's at in his football journey. He hasn't even developed to be able to play on Saturdays. They don't even understand what goes into the development of a player to be successful on the field, to then be able to profit off your income. So, yeah, that's something that I am, you know, very, very wary of, just kinda curious to see how it's gonna continue to affect college, especially if they don't get out. But yeah, at this point in the broadcast, if you or a business that you know wants to sponsor the Modern Sports Show, the Modern Sports Show will be making an announcement fairly soon. Um, we got a sponsor, have a sponsor locked in. We'll make an announcement very soon about that. If you have a business or business to join or buy ad spaces on the show, be sure to let me know, follow me, get with me, and we can get you on the show and we can just get your business more visibility. You are you have access to 441 premium subscribers. We have 21,000 views on this channel. We have 40,000 views on our Instagram channel. A lot of visibility if you want to join the Motorsport Show and what we have going on. So be sure to be sure to let a business owner know that the Motorsport Show is selling ad spaces. So get your ad placed on the show, be in front of a lot more customers, potential customers, and yeah, elevate your business. Our leader Albert says some schools have decent systems in place, but other schools are dropping bags for nothing. But it speaks about how much money has been made off the backs of former players in previous years. It does. Sorry. Mike. Um, it definitely does. Speaks to how much money, um, definitely does. Speaks to how much money people have made off of the institutions themselves have made of former players. I agree with that, especially for them to be giving out bags and checks now. So, I definitely agree. Um, at this point in the broadcast, also let me remind you, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, also be on the lookout for our episodes. We got an episode coming out Thursday. We'll be discussing some picks and previews about college football games from for this upcoming weekend. Looking forward to kind of sharing my thoughts on that. Kind of chill night, chill evening. I appreciate everyone who's joined. I really do. I got about a faithful, I would say consistent at that. 5 to 6 viewers. Definitely want to grow that number by 100. Definitely want to grow that number by 100. Get more people in here. I'm curious to know what. everyone kinda thinks about as we continue to dive deeper into the college football season. Coming soon too, guys. I gotta there's a few orders of these shirts and, apparel that I have not, gotten to the right people. My goal is by the beginning of the new year, we start back selling some merchandise, and I kinda get a handle on things. I cannot wait for season with Modest. Um, I'm gonna be traveling around. I just can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm gonna be traveling around, getting some of your favorite athletes at some of your most favorite schools on the show. Um, I can't wait, man. For sure, Von Drakes. I appreciate your support, work. I've actually been enjoying this. For sure, that's what this is. That's exactly what this is. We gon' look, y'all run this thing. I'm just the moderator. I'm gonna keep building this up. So here soon, I'm gonna have it to where I'm gonna have a tier. I'm gonna have like loyal, modest members. Y'all gonna be able to when this thing blow up, y'all gonna be the ones on the stage. We're gonna be facilitating the conversation. We're gonna have it like a nightcap each week. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have people and I'm actually trying to trying to get something in. I gotta figure it out. I wanna get it set up to where y'all can actually call the show. So y'all can call the number. They can hear y'all voices on the show while I'm talking. We could do it like that. So I click you in, click you out, that type of thing. So you can comment, you can call. We gonna get all that figured out. We just going as we growing as we going. But like I said, I thoroughly appreciate y'all for joining tonight. Another podcast edition of the Modern Sports Show. If you haven't liked, comment. Many of you have commented. Subscribe to the channel. We're gonna keep growing. Be sure Thursdays at 6 p.m. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. an installment of the Modern Sports Show will come out. And actually, take that with a grain of salt. Still kind of trying to play with the time, see if 6 p.m. is a better time or early. I feel like earlier is a better time. Like I said, it may be like 9 a.m. actually with the episodes are dropping. Either which way, y'all will know prior to then. If you haven't, keep sending this work around, keep sharing it around. We are definitely growing. Like I said, we're at 441 subscribers. 441. I started this year off with 50, 60 subscribers. So I mean, well, you in 11 months, we done gained almost 390 something subscribers. 380, 390 subscribers. I mean, we're growing. We definitely growing and we gonna keep growing. All to the thanks of you guys. I cannot wait. I really can't wait. Like I know I keep harping on this. I cannot wait to season 2 of the Modern Sports. Our equipment is growing. As you can see, we got the podcast mic within past couple weeks. We're gonna be getting a couple more things to kinda beef up our production. And man, I'm telling you, I got big plans for the new year. I got big plans for the new year. I cannot wait. I can't wait for y'all to see my vision, see how I'm kinda gonna beat this thing up. Telling y'all, I'm telling you. One weekend you might see me, I might be in Arizona. Next weekend I might be at Penn State. The next weekend I might be at Oregon. Next weekend in Tennessee. Next weekend in Florida. So telling y'all this new year, telling you, I'm telling you. But I can show you better than I can tell you. Um, guys, it has been another great addition to the Modern Sports Show. We didn't kind of slow it down with comments. My voice is getting kind of raspy and hoarse. Anywho, I appreciate y'all for joining tonight. Um, I appreciate y'all for joining, baby Kirk. That's right, baby Kirk. That's right. That's actually now we gonna say that. I say we'll talk. I appreciate y'all for joining tonight, guys. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. This is the Modest Sports Show. I'm your college athlete where we are player led and player focused. I'm your host, Corey. I had a great time with you tonight, and I hope for you to come back for more of these lives. See you on Thursday at I'll let you know the time. Y'all have a good night. Sure.